website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. What's a stupid thing to do when you practice, and what's an intelligent thing to do? Well, there is actually a way to determine this, because every development in nature, whether it be a tree that grows, or a human body that grows, or the stock market, or a business, or your skills on the guitar, how they develop, it follows the exponential growth curve. And that's really an explosion. It says 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32, 64, 128, and so it doubles itself all the time. But if, let's say you have 1 million here, at the peak on a graph, if you do 1 million, then watching that curve becomes like a hockey stick. And it also means that the majority of that curve is just watching the grass grow. Look it up on the internet. And that creates impatience in people. But that's because the brain doesn't get the exponential growth curve. It's just, I'm practicing, I want results now, right? And you get results now. But it's like, it's too little. 2 to 4, who gives a hoot? 4 to 8, that's fine. But, I want 1 million, right? And that's why we fall prey to get rich quick schemes with no effort, right? Or the secret to something on the guitar. In a week, you can develop amazing alternate picking skills. Of course you can't. But the real secret to developing explosively is working the exponential growth curve. And I went from, campfire chords and a little bit of classical pieces to having alien-like skills. Not because I'm talented, because I was lucky to work the exponential growth curve and pick something that I was focused enough on to actually develop in that way, out of sheer luck. And that took me 2 years, and those skills have matured really, after those 2 years, but I was able to do it after 2 years. So how do you do it? Well, any thought that leads to an action that works against nature, against natural laws of development is a stupid action, right? That's why trying to, I've been practicing alternate picking for 2 months now and I'm not mastering it. There's a trick to it, I think. And then you try to develop a trick, hold your hand in the weird way, use your whole arm, do something to force it. And you always develop a bad technique or an inaccurate technique that you never really become comfortable or satisfied with because you know that you're not really playing the notes right? Or you play that song and you can play 10 songs in 2 weeks, but you want mastery, right? So any attempt to shortcut the process is like dieting. It's like wanting to lose 100 pounds and then you go on a diet and good luck with that, right? Because then you starve yourself and then you overeat afterwards. It never works, this dieting process. But if you work the exponential growth curve and say, how can I today change my lifestyle a little bit? How can I get results? And then you maximize. You can see, okay, I lost 5 pounds this week or these 2 weeks. I don't know too much about weight loss, but I lost. That means that if I can maximize this, I can lose even more in the future. And then gradually I can change my lifestyle. I can change my whole experience of my life and what food is and, all of these things, right? And then gradually you become a different person, basically, that will never go back to being overweight. The same thing goes here. It's exactly the same process. But out of impatience, we want to diet all the time. We try to find the quick fix instead of staying on target with the exponential growth curve, working it. And what does that mean? Well, any thought that leads you into maximizing what you do instead of revolutionizing your results. Maximizing what you get out of practicing. How can I be more focused? How can I practice even better? Can I, spend the hours each day better? Can I visualize scale shapes when I go to work? What can I do to get a little bit more out of practicing today, or practice a little bit more? Because I know that instead of turning 2 into 4, I can turn 4 into 5. And those 5 I can turn into 12 instead of 10. Then those little numbers become exponentially a huge amount of growth. It's just incredible because those extra 2 that Monday of developing, because you were more focused, because you practiced a little more, those 2 become 4, become 8, become 16, and that becomes a little explosion in and of itself. That's the secret. So you maximize your practice schedule. You become better at it. And the better you become, the more results you get. You measure, you do all the things I tell you to. So you get an experience of progress. So you get even more motivated. So you become even better at practicing because it works. And the better you become, the more results you get. And the more motivated you become. And so you get even better. So you develop more elements. The time you spend, the amount of passion and enthusiasm you have, and all the, and the results you get, and all of these elements, all of the equation of practicing, influence each other and double each other. And that's the way to create explosive growth. Not to try and create a revolution this week, because that's like shooting yourself in the foot. You become one of those guys who has a crappy technique because you try to push it all the time. You try to revolutionize everything all the time. And so you got a result, but it's basically like now you're that limp guy with the clutch and the, whatever that's called, but you made it, right? But it's not pretty, and it's not what you want. You want that fluent playing style, that relaxed, having that headroom with whatever you do so you can connect with everybody on the stage and the audience at the same time, right? And the exponential growth curve is the way to it. So you want to distinguish between stupid actions and stupid thoughts and intelligent, productive thoughts. And we just made the distinction. Whatever destroys your exponential growth because you try to create an explosion that leads you out of maximization. That's stupid. Trying to revolutionize everything, getting rich quick, right? Trying to find the trick to developing explosively in a week. That's stupid. But the intelligent thing is to work the actual explosion of everything that develops, right? And what is that? That is maximizing what you do each and every day, each and every week. The amount of passion, the amount of focus, the amount of results you get, the amount of time you spend, right? If you can do that, then you can work that curve. And I promise you, your development will be staggering. But most people go for the dieting approach. They get rich quick because they fail to see how things develop and fail to work with Mother Nature, with reality basically, and try to work against it. And you always lose when you do that. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.